Whoopi Goldberg destroyed Sonny Hostin live on the show. This clowning continues, and I want to watch it with you.
I don't think we need more Liz Cheneys in office, and I think a Democrat would be crazy to switch parties to vote for a 90.
Just for the primary, though, Sonny.
Even for the primary, Joy. I mean, 92.9% of the time she voted with Trump. She only took a stance when this insurrection happened. I mean, how
that's a
low.
Pretty big. That's a pretty big.
That's a pretty low bar when democracy is at stake. She also called Kamala Harris basically a Marxist because Kamala, our Vice President Harris, was saying things like, you know what, we have so many disadvantaged Americans here. There is such a racial wealth gap. Let's give disadvantaged people an opportunity to even the playing field. She said that was Marxism. She also dismissed our vice president's qualifications by claiming that Joe Biden clearly decided that he was going to make a choice based on somebody's gender, based on their race, and based on his need to placate the very far socialist left of his party. She also voted against
I know, but we only got 4 minutes.
The dehydrated Whoopi is already shunning and trying every way possible to shut up silly Sonny. She shouts that they have 4 minutes left. It's time for you to stop this nonsense and bury us with you. They all never had great minds and were alienated from people because every time I see them, I can hear them talk so much nonsense that I feel sick.
This is not the savior of democracy.
It's not the savior, but look, we were talking about a brave woman in Moscow. This is on obviously a smaller level because her life is not at stake. But what she's doing is brave because she is going against her own people. And that doesn't mean that I would vote for her or that you would.
She's a wealthy woman. She comes from a wealthy family. How brave is it to go against a democracy and you're going to lose your job?
I'm sorry, that's two different things. Whether she's wealthy or not has nothing.
But it matters.
Wait, no, not to me. It doesn't matter to me. Hold on, I just want to tell you what matters to me, and then I'll shut up.
You have time.
What matters to me is that someone from that end of the rope said, you know, this is not okay. This is not okay. I can fight about our ideals back and forth, but when you poop on the country and say that a lie is the truth, that what we're talking about isn't important, and somebody stands up and says, listen, I know you don't like what I'm saying, but I'm going to stand up and say it. I have to give her, I'd never vote for her.
Right.
I'm not going to change direction, but I can appreciate somebody who stands up and says, you know what, this isn't right, and I do see that the emperor's not wearing clothes.
God, she's so right. She turns out to have a knack for listening to outside opinions and seeing good people. Who are you kidding, Whoopi? Your whole show is built on lies and slander. You just cover yourself with the mask of a famous person, but inside, you're rotten and horrible. You shut your colleague's mouth and tell her she's actually talking rubbish. You don't count for anything.
She voted against giving Americans $2,000 during the COVID pandemic.
I think
I understand
you can
the
have
point,
all the things that you don't like
she is
about
not
her,
the savior of democracy.
But it's not about, nobody's talking about her as a savior.
I'd say this, I mean, and I think these are valid points. One thing,
Wyoming,
I know you know they're valid points. Wyoming is not going to elect a Democrat that represents your values and Kamala Harris's. I think she's probably the
My values
best.
are American values.
Yes, I know, I agree they are. But I don't think you're going to get a liberal Democrat in Wyoming. I think for the state and for the shared values that people like you and I have, she's the best bet. The other thing I would say, and this can't go unnoticed, people like Liz Cheney, people like myself and others who've spoken out against Donald Trump, we get death threats. We've all gotten them. And I guarantee you she's gotten way more than I have. So there's a level of bravery that she's showing that can't go dismissed just because she wants to stand up for the democratic process.
Well, here's the thing. There are, I know it's going to shock everyone, but there are Democrats in Wyoming. They're all of the same, a lot of them have the same values that you have. We see how to do things differently. We don't have different values. We value our families. We value the truth. We value the things that make us American. Those are the things that unite us. And, you know, she should stand up and say, this is wrong.
The problem is, when you say Whoopi, I think we should stop this clowning around and stop listening to this nonsense. I've realized another important thing. The View will never change. They will continue to chant their point of view that contradicts many and think they and only they are right. What do you think about that? Write your opinion in the comments and don't forget to watch other shocking news on the channel.